Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. I suppose it's kind of like episode 2, but it's actually 101. I don't know, should I go for the... You guys let me know, do I want to go with the title episode 101, or do I want to go like episode 2, season 2, or I don't know, like series 2. I'm not sure. You guys let me know in the comments which sounds better or which would work better in the title, because it could get pretty crazy going up to some pretty high numbers. But yeah, like I said, you guys let me know. But one thing I would like to say before I go on is I started last time, but unfortunately it went to the default squads again. So I didn't play any games or anything like that yet. So what I did was, when I played these games here, I actually kind of erased that and just quickly created it again. I'm still Ajax, but this time I did download the latest squads, and I just feel as though it just kind of makes things a lot better when the squads are updated. It's not like I missed out on anything, I suppose. I've erased the fact that I inquired into Lucas Piazon, but besides that, that's about it. So one of the big things that I asked you guys on episode 100 was, help me out with some player names. I need some player names. I need, you know, where do I improve my squad? What players do I have already that are amazing? And I'll quickly run you guys through, you know, some of the players that I think will really progress and do well. So the first one is kind of the most obvious one, Eriksen. Eriksen is really good, a center attacking midfielder who has just got bags and bags of potential. He looks like he could become a really good player for me, so there is no way I'm going to sell him. Another player very similar to him is, his name's Fisher, I think it is, or that's how it's spelt anyways. He is a right winger, and he is just going to develop really, really well. So those are like the two big players that I'm not going to sell whatsoever. You've also got players like Anderson as well. He's a left winger, I think. He's another player that has got bags of potential. One of my center backs as well. I mean, these players, they are all... that's what I really liked about Ajax, was the fact that I was able to pick a team that would just develop nicely into a really good side. And one of the, I kind of want to say complaints about episode 100 was the fact that I chose Ajax. You know, a lot of people were, you know, they didn't like the fact that I chose Ajax. And although you know, not everyone will be happy with who I choose and things like that, and that's something I have to accept. But, you know, there were people getting really worked up about it, and they said, you know, it's just, you're just going to win the league every time and all this, that, and the next thing. What I'd like to respond to that is, the reason why I chose Ajax is I kind of wanted to make them the kings of Europe. Not you know, obviously I want to win the title and things, but the biggest thing is that I want them to become the kings of Europe. You know, I want to win the Champions League. That's my goal with them. They don't have an enormously large transfer budget. You know, they have 10.5 million, which is an okay amount. It's not a lot, and it's not a little. So, you know, it's kind of in the middle, and it kind of provides me with a good challenge, because winning the Champions League is what I'm planning to do with this team. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't expect that to happen in the first season, but what I do hope to happen is that over time, you know, we slowly get further and further down the line on the Champions League. At the same time, though, I would like to do very well in the Eredivisie League. You know, I want to come first place, second place, you know, nothing really below that, because I do have high expectations of this team. One thing I would like to note just for this episode is that I was very much, you know, getting a feel for the team, sorting out the team, finding out, you know, who I should be picking, that sort of thing. So I was looking at a whole range of players, and the main reason why you guys might be seeing me, you know, type in certain names is because I actually posted out a Facebook post and a tweet as well, just like, you know, what players would you recommend for my series? You know, who do you think would fit well into a 3-5-2 formation? So, you know, a lot of these players that I'm typing in here were recommended by you guys, and Lucas last name's Marone anyways, the Juventus central defensive mid, he was very tasty, he looked really good, so I actually stuck in a bid for him as well. But one area of the field that I felt as though needed quite a bit of improvement was the attacking half, you know, the striker. You know, we already have the center attacking mid, which will be Eriksen, and we also have a little bit of depth in that position as well, which is okay. Another player that I really like the look of is Lukoki, I think is how you pronounce it, and he is really fast. I think he has like 96 acceleration. He's just a really fast player, and I really hope that he does, you know, do well. I think we have some good wingers in the side. We have a Babel as well, so he can hopefully, you know, kind of. I'm a little bit stuck. Do I want to play these young players who are going to progress well as the starting players, or do I want to play like Babel and people like that who are already good, but they're just not going to progress to become these really good players, that essentially the ones that are currently rated around 66, 69, that sort of rated, they'll definitely develop much better than someone like Babel. But as you can see, Luka Marone, that's his name, the defensive mid. Defensive mid is a position that's kind of weak where I am. There's not that great players, but there's definitely room for improvement. In the striker position, I took a look at Victor over here, Victor Barbo, age 22, overall 75, which was okay at the moment. One of the biggest things that appealed to me was the fact he was only on 10k at the moment, 10,000 pounds a week at the moment, and you guys can take a look. My wage budget is actually really small as it is, and I decided to offer 5.5 million plus a player. And, you might be a little bit like how there was no need to add this, add the player on, because you'd already offered just a little bit over what he was actually worth. But it was more the fact that if I can offload a player as well, I get rid of his wages, and it opens up some wage budget and things like that. And I just felt as though I really did want to secure Ibarbo. He looked really good, and from what I've heard from you guys, he is actually a very good player and does grow along with the rest of the squad. Another player is Zarate. Zarate is a player that I used a lot in FIFA 12. I found him just magnificent. In FIFA 13, don't get me wrong, he is still quite good, but I don't think he's as good as he was in 12. So I did actually take a look into him, and I believe I put a bid in for him, but that's just going to have to take a little bit of time. And I think I'd probably go with Ibarbo over Zarate, just because I feel as though Victor would be far better and just suit the team a little bit better. So as you can see, both were actually accepted. So it was a matter of me coming down and having to choose it. Unfortunately, though, my Luka Marone bid, or Marone, or just you guys know that this whole accent thing, once I nail it, it's going to be awesome. But until then, you guys are going to have to sit tight and kind of, roll with me. But like I said, that was unfortunately rejected, and he's currently 73 rated at the moment, but I feel as though he can definitely improve to, 80 plus. And from what I've seen from you guys, he definitely can become a really influential player. And the defensive mid, like I said, isn't a strong position that I have at the moment. I'm going to run kind of from the back to the front. Center back, we all know that I'm really looking at a player called Massi. Alberto Massi is his name. He's on loan at the moment, so I can't pick him up, but I did kind of put him on the short list just to make sure that when he does come out of being on loan, then I can quickly jump on him and try and pick him up. But yeah, so I've got to sort out those sort of things. That's the sort of things I'm looking at the moment as far as centre backs go. I believe I already have one centre back who is actually going to progress pretty well, so that's okay. The defensive mid, I have one defensive mid player who's okay, one who's a bit trash, and that's why I'm looking at Luka there, and he should hopefully fill in there and progress well. A centre attacking mid, Ericsson, he is just going to be, hopefully he's going to be kind of like the star player, a bit like how Muriel was for QPR. He's going to be like the top dog, but I've heard really good things about Fisher as well, so Fisher should really sort of progress nicely with Ericsson, and both of them can hopefully create a really good combination. But I actually got an offer in for Vermeer here. Vermeer is my goalkeeper. He's age 78, and isn't age 78, Jesus man, he'd be on wheelchair. He's overall 78, but he's age 26, and they actually came in with an offer for 3.3 million, and I wasn't really too sure. I counter-offered for quite a lot of money as well, just because I really didn't want to give him away and then struggle to find a good goalkeeper. Now, Vermeer, he's an okay keeper, but he's not amazing. As you can see, they came back with 3.6 million, but I was like, maybe if I just drop it down just a little bit, they might come back to me, because I kind of did want to get rid of him and pick up a slightly better keeper. But at the same time, I was like, I don't want to be in the position where I end up just having to rush to buy someone and him just not being nearly as good. So the press are in, and they reckon I'm going to finish first, and they reckon that centre back there, I'm not even going to try and pronounce it for now, is going to be a really big part of my entire season. I completely agree. He does look like a good centre back, and I really hope we finish first place. I know PSV are going to be a tough game, a tough team to crack, but that'll just have to wait. And now for 4.5 million, I did manage to pick up Luka Marone, and hopefully he just does really well. And one of the big things I noticed at being at Ajax is the fact that when you offer contracts, you have to offer more than what you're meant to give them, because otherwise they come back and say, I really like where I am, I don't really feel like moving, but I could be persuaded. So I don't know whether that's me having to up the squad roll or me having to up the amount of money they want per week. So I've been kind of experimenting around with that sort of stuff, and I definitely feel as though it's a matter of telling them that they're going to be an important first team player or something along those lines. But guys, I hope you all had a cracking day. I hope you guys are excited for my Ajax series. I am just excited to give it to you guys as well, and obviously a like would just be amazing because you guys are awesome, and I can't wait to show you more of this Ajax shenanigans. Have a great day, guys. I'll see you all in a bit. Bye-bye.